The Trump 2020 campaign is making stops across the country this week. Today, Donald Trump Jr. spoke to a full house of voters in Iowa. 3 News Now reporter Kent Lutzen was there and joins us live with more. Kent?
That's right, Jenny. We are just 50 days out before the presidential election, and the Trump campaign is hitting the trail hard this week. Donald Trump Jr. was here talking to a large crowd at the community center in Treynor, Iowa, pitching to American voters why we should elect President Donald Trump for another 4 years. Now, the seats were full of more red hats than face masks in a state that has a COVID-19 positivity rate of around 12%. Donald Trump Jr. spent a lot of his time talking about biases in the way journalists cover the Trump family versus the Bidens. He also spent a large portion of his time talking about Biden's mental state and if the former vice president was fit to run for the United States White House. Now, we know one of the talking points for the Trump campaign is law and order, and we heard that a lot during the Republican National Convention just a few weeks ago. Trump Jr. carried that with him, adding Democratic-run cities are pushing to defund the police after recent unrest and protests in major cities.
But do you think defunding the police is the way to fix that problem? Or do you think it forces good cops with experience into retirement while creating a void for younger, immature cops with no experience to fill that gap? You have a big void to fill, so now you probably lower the standard. Do you think that helps or hurts the problem? Because I think it throws fuel on the problem.
Now, Donald Trump Jr. didn't mention the current pandemic, rather just citing his father's restricted travel ban from Wuhan, China early on in this pandemic. He failed to mention recent reports that President Trump knew COVID-19 was much deadlier than the flu and did not relay that message to the American people. Now, we spoke to quite a few voters, but one has much more life experience than others. We talked to a 94-year-old World War II veteran about the current political climate in America, and we'll hear from him coming up tonight at 10. Reporting in Treynor, Iowa, I'm Kent Lutzen, 3 News Now.